Hello, welcome to Rough Cuts, a podcast by creators for creators. I forgot it for a second, even though I already wrote it, but it's fine. With me, Jermaine and Dylan. And we have a new special guest who's our operator for today. Their
You'll
name is
never
Sarah.
see my face.
Yeah, right now you don't.
But I'm
because we
here.
Gave up on the extra camera.
Yeah. No, actually, I just don't actually exist as a body. I'm just kind of
Ghost.
moving. Yeah.
We have a lot of ghosts in
Yeah.
this world.
So that's me. I'm the new ghost.
Pick them up on iPhone.
Yeah, be careful when you sign a contract with our company.
Don't tell people that. Don't tell people that. But, Jermaine, talk. Give us a thing.
Today we're talking about our lovely experience that we have went through of the 72 hours. It's
The
a
72-hour
filmmaking-
film fest.
Yeah, it's a film fest. And
So, little, pretext to this conversation. Back in 2020, that year, we did something called the 72-Hour Film Fest. It's a film festival based out of Maryland where you have 72 hours to write, shoot, and edit a short film and turn it in by Sunday night. So it starts on a technically Thursday night. That's when they give you like the theme and like all the requirements for the thing. And then you have Friday, Saturday to shoot and do your thing. And then Sunday is when you have to turn it in. And we did this in 2020.
yeah,
I don't know how, but we did.
It was it was a harrowing experience. We learned a lot about ourselves
Yes.
and about filmmaking.
yeah.
Yeah. The truth.
The truth? What is the truth then, Dylan?
Well, it comes in many forms, but we'll have to talk about it over time. So let's just start at the beginning.
The beginning. Okay. So the reason we even did this the first time was because when we were in school, somebody brought it up. And I looked it up and thought, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that sometime. And it took 2 years for me to be like, oh, I can do that now. So it was during, the big quarantine.
Yeah.
So everything was shut down. And this is a usual, like, kind of in-person thing. You go to the kickoff, and then they give you their information. You go and do your thing, and, you come back. But this year, or not this year, but 2020, was all online.
Yeah.
So it was a virtual kickoff with, like, a YouTube kind of live stream, and then they give you your stuff based on your team, and then you go do your thing, and you turn it in. And it was interesting. How would you guys sum it up in a sentence?
Like our experience you mean, for the first time.
I think it was fun. It was very informative, though.
And I think it was a lot. We definitely had to do a lot.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of once, like, it was out of our wheelhouse a bit because we were a very small team at the time. So.
Yeah, it was like mostly us three, and we had one person who came on, and then they brought on a couple people that were the friends, and we had actually just finished doing 2 freelance projects,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it was kind of like back to back to back when this came up, and somehow this was like the most harrowing thing that we did.
It burned us out pretty good.
It
Yeah,
did.
it
3
did.
months.
We
We're done.
we took a break. We didn't make anything for 3 months after that, which was kind of ooh. Should we just talk about the theme now about it our year?
Yeah, well, let's look at the notes.
No, I know. So
Alright, you remember.
I remember all too well.
Oh,
Okay, so for 2020, it was a YouTube live stream where they gave you the theme requirements, and for the year that we did it, the whole theme was wild card.
Yeah.
So it was based around like a deck of cards for the most part. So whenever they were like, showing the teams, each team drew a card. And I think our card was the Joker?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we were Joker. And each card went with a specific image from a past year's film fest. And you had to mimic that, and it had to be like a key point in your film. So ours, do you remember what it was?
Yeah. It was 3 people in the woods.
It was 3
They were
people.
separated. They were like
It was
apart.
in a grassy field.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was 3 people in a field, and they were like all going off in different directions.
Yeah. That's all.
Oh.
It's the AC.
It's hot, whatever. But it's 3 people in a field, and they all were going off in different directions. And that had to be a key point in your film.
Yes.
Also, like, we had some social media requirements and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Like, it was actually really hard to find a normal deck of cards for some
That was
reason.
the funniest thing about it was that so you had to have a card that showed what team you were, and ours was Joker. So I had a deck of cards. Somehow I didn't have a Joker in it. So then we went to like I think what was it, Five Below or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought two decks of cards, and neither of them had Joker in them. And I was
And
just
they're
like,
also like weird, like abstract art.
Yeah.
Like,
it didn't have Joker. I was just like,
no, we couldn't
all
find a
right.
normal deck.
So I had to like email them and ask, hey, is this okay? And we had already started shooting too, so I was like nervous if they were gonna be like, oh no, you can't use that. Then we have to stop shooting and I had to find this card.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about it was you had to show your card in a picture, post on Instagram each day showing you were actively working, because you can't have anything prepped. You have to make everything in the 72 hours.
From scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can probably use like props and like if you have sets prepared, kinda that's okay, but you can't like, I'm making this for 72, because that would be cheating.
Cheating.
Yeah, but our experience was interesting. For one, so we got our requirement, which was the 3 people in the field, and
Which means we had to have at least 3 actors.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was one, and I don't think we were
everyone.
prepped for that at
No.
all. I think
We
we
were
only
prepped for what, 1 or 2.
yeah.
We didn't really have like a list of people. We only knew a couple, so we had someone else get people from outside.
Yeah, so that was like something else. And then I think we just immediately went into ideas because they give you that theme Thursday night, kind of late. And then you have that time until, I believe it's like 9 p.m. when they start on a Thursday. And you have that time to kind of write, before you actually start shooting the next 2 days. And we immediately went to writing, kind of like, saying ideas. And we dug up our Google Doc of our notes on here. And it's funny to see how much something can change. Because do you remember our like original concept and like
Yeah.
original
Kinda.
things?
I know there was a monster.
I remember it.
What do you
I wrote
remember? Okay,
Well, I transcribed and you and
Yeah.
your
that
friend
was the
were
funny
doing
thing.
it.
We all said something. Every single person had a different idea,
Yep.
and we tried to combine them all
It was
into
good.
one thing.
I think it was good. It had a nice blend of a few things that, still stayed online with 72, but also,
Yeah,
we wanted to experiment with new lights.
That's true.
We
Well,
got brand new
yeah.
lights. We wanted to experiment on them.
yeah, that was like a big thing.
Oh boy.
The original script was called Highlight, and I found the original script. I haven't read it in a long time. I can see already 90% of it is like
Crossed out.
crossed out. But the story about our script goes, we got our theme, and we were all at my apartment, and we started writing, and the other people that were in our team weren't there, so they didn't know what was going on. But then they jumped in, so then like we had to adjust our project right then and there. So our script that we had originally just went through so many different concepts. Like, looking at our sheet, we had 3 different concepts, and it looks like we highlighted the first one.
But that's not the one we went with. We went with number 3, I think.
Yeah.
Let's just read that off, just
Yeah, okay.
because
So,
I barely remember any of these.
yeah, so concept 1 is 4 people go to a Halloween party and 1 friend's early, and they're looking to meet up in the woods. Mysterious things will happen, and blah, blah, blah. Killer begins to kill them one by one. And Killer was one of their friends.
I don't remember
Oh,
that.
no.
Killer
it
Killer
works.
was supposed to be one of their friends. Then the next concept we came down with was 3 people are looking for their missing friend. They search the entire woods. They argue because each one were supposed to have differences and problems with each other, and
That was more like a character.
the missing friend turns out to be one of the killers.
Or just bait. No, it just says
summons a killer.
I don't know what that means.
Yes, I don't know what
I
summons.
don't know if the friend like summons a demon or like is just like calls a hitman and like, hey,
Okay.
can you kill my friends for me?
See, that was the funny thing about it is I remember the night we were doing this, I don't know if we had been drinking or something, because all I remember is
Yeah.
us all just like silently yelling out things and just writing stuff down.
Yeah.
It did not make sense.
Because like so much of this, I just don't remember.
Yeah. The third one, I believe, is what we went with, but things probably got
Yeah,
changed.
this I remember.
So 4 friends go to a party and they don't get along and they try to make up, but the group splits up because they hate each other. C finds the killer and dies first and all scream. You do DNC reunite. It's
Yeah,
basically
it's
the plot of
basically-
our thing.
So it's just a funny thing.
Oh, there are a few things though. Like there's a broken arm scene, which I don't know
Oh my God.
why that was. I had no idea how that was gonna work. And then they run off. Like this is a lot more involved. Definitely.
We were a bit more ambitious
Yeah.
originally with
We
our
came
script.
up with a lot of like prop stuff, but then halfway through realized
We
we
had to
can't
drop so
yeah,
much.
we
Yeah.
can't make
This
props. We
concept
can't do
was
much.
also like written on the day of shooting, because like it took
Yeah.
a while to get shooting done. We didn't
Yeah,
get any shooting done on day one.
Which, and here's the story behind our 3 days, our very exciting 3 days that felt like 3 months. So the first day, after we had kind of written outline for the script, or maybe we'd written script, I don't remember at that
No,
point.
we've written the script.
We wrote the
was
script
done.
before.
Yeah, the
Okay.
script was done the first night.
So the first day,
We went to get props.
we were getting props, and having the actors come over to my place. We're meeting there, and then we were all kind of just waiting for the actors and stuff to happen, and we are getting stuff ready. Like we got the equipment out early and stuff, so we're just hanging out. And then we, as people do when they're bored, we start skateboarding around.
Yeah,
And
man.
Jermaine disappeared for an hour, just in the middle of this. Didn't say anything. He didn't have his keys. He didn't have his phone.
I
This is
heard a
legit,
call.
by the way.
I heard a call from the Lord and had to go rescue somebody.
No, you.
That's not at all how it went.
No, what actually happened, Jermaine?
Well, as I was skateboarding, a nice man stops me and goes, "Hey, man, you want to make $100?" And in the middle of me skating, I stop and go, $100? Absolutely. And so I helped him move some stuff from a truck into somebody else's house. Don't know anybody, just $100.
Isn't this a great story?
Yeah, he disappeared during our
yeah.
72 hours. So we,
They,
Call the police
everyone
at one
like
point?
freaked out.
yeah,
They tried to.
we were looking for you.
Yeah, somehow
I
you're
don't-
on the edge of the.
I don't think the
apartment complex.
police
We
would
just
come
couldn't
looking
find
for someone like me.
I had,
Was this just like, and this was just a random stranger?
yes,
And you just were like, sure.
it.
yes.
Yeah, just help
Okay.
He
move
left.
out for
He didn't have his phone,
$100.
didn't have his keys, didn't tell us. Because
Yeah.
I remember what happened was me and him were both skateboarding around, and we were chilling, and I stopped, like, all right, I better wait for everyone else to get here. So I stopped, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, we'll be back soon. And, like, we were around the same area at the time.
Yeah.
5 minutes go by, I'm like, maybe he's, like, chilling or something. Like, maybe he's walking back.
He was gone for over an
10 minutes
Oh my
go
God.
by, and I'm like, maybe he's I don't know, maybe he just went down the street to go grab something. And then like about half an hour later I was like, oh God, what happened?
Oh,
And
jeez.
he just disappeared for a whole hour. I was walking around my apartment looking for him. I was like, did he get kidnapped? Like what happened? And then literally the third or fourth time around my apartment, I look over and I just see him carrying some fucking, like, I think it was a coffee table. And I was just like, Jermaine! And you're like, what? And I was like, what the
Look,
fuck?
when the actors got there, actors and actresses, when they got there, they were doing makeup. And so while we were skating
No,
around,
that's the thing. They weren't there yet.
They-
I remember I
yeah.
did tell them that you went missing.
they get there. I skate around once and I see that they're doing makeup because where his apartment is, you could see right inside of his
You
apartment.
weren't
This is
there.
conflicting.
That's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
You
I was
weren't
like,
there.
all right, they got some time to.
Okay,
do
I
Jermaine,
think-
you
something.
didn't do that.
You
Come
didn't.
on.
I'm telling you,
No.
I dead ass. I walked up because I remember I walked up to the door.
No,
to the
I
screen
remember now.
door.
I remember now
and
what
they were
happened.
doing
And this is
makeup.
what annoyed me about it was that I went looking for you when you came back, apparently.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you were gone for like a couple minutes or so. So I went looking for you. And I had like, some of the actors came and were like, oh, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
Yeah, I was there when they came.
I gotta go find somebody because I think he's missing. So I walked away, and you're telling me while I was gone, while the actors were in there,
Yes.
you came by and
Yes.
you left again.
Yes.
You didn't tell anyone you were there.
No. The actors saw me there because I had a conversation with one of them.
Dude, we were about to print out posters and shit. Like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah, so we had lost a lot of time from that.
Not really. They were doing makeup for an hour.
It's fine. But that was a whole thing, anyways. Is that we wrote the script, and then changed it entirely on the second day of
Yeah.
the thing, because originally what happened was we were waiting for everyone to get there. That took a bit because people were coming in from Philly and stuff, and we didn't tell them times or something, and it got kind of complicated. So that happens for one. But then what happened was we just had a location in mind.
Yeah.
No one scouted the location beforehand.
No.
And when we got to this location, which was a random abandoned house by some freeway with exposed nails and a lot of broken down stuff, we get there.
Also, a highway, no crosswalk,
Oh yeah,
no
yeah.
lines.
We had to run across a highway
yeah,
with
active
our
highway.
film equipment, with people in high heels and stuff.
Yeah.
So we got there, and I hadn't seen this location beforehand. So I was just sitting there, looking around, thinking about the fact that we had in the scripts someone falling over, people getting killed and stuff, and doing kind of stunts. And I was just thinking to myself, if someone falls and gets stabbed with a nail,
They're done.
yeah. So I was like, yeah, we can't shoot here. So
Yeah, we don't have tetanus shots on the budget.
yeah, we lost an entire day. Just did not do anything that entire day.
Yeah.
Second day comes, other issues happen, and we just end up having to rewrite the script because someone drops out.
Yeah.
One of our actors drops out. So we rewrite the entire script. And that became our actual 72 thing, and it's called Kindling.
Yes.
And that was, we never put it out because there were some issues
Was
with
it put on the 72 YouTube at all?
I don't know, actually.
Because don't they put all their stuff on?
We could totally check it out after this, but
Yeah.
essentially, we had put in this, that we turned it in. That was a big thing. We finished it.
Yes.
Even though all that stuff happened, we did actually finish it. We had shot and
It was
shot
very
and,
tight.
shot.
You have shot.
We
You
shot.
got shoddy with a body.
We shot in the evening. I want to say late afternoon, early evening on Saturday, and we shot until it was dark. And our entire short takes place in a wooded area too, so that was its own ordeal to deal with.
Yeah, it was right into October, so it
Yeah.
was right when it's starting to get a little
Yeah.
chilly, and right when it was getting dark real quick.
Yeah,
So getting out of the woods after shooting was
that in
It
the
was
dark.
amazing.
And we were in a quarry.
Yeah.
it was
Um,
amazing for some of the people.
yeah, everyone is kind of very tense.
What? You don't find the dark
No,
unknown
I liked
common?
it. I just I
But
don't know.
I sleep with all of my lights off, everything off.
that's good. That's as you should.
The darkness is common.
But we shot Saturday evening, and we just went every time for every shot. We didn't even I think we did one take for so many things because we
Yeah.
just did not have the time. We had to go because we lost so much time
Yeah.
And light.
and light. Yeah, and what makes it worse is that I remember when we got to the park that we were shooting at, we had my film equipment in the back of someone's car. I look at the light panel and think, oh, we don't need that. We're not gonna be here that long. We ended up having to need them, but we were already too deep in there that I was like, I can't send somebody back.
Yeah.
So we just get phone lights, and in our short,
Yeah.
the last few scenes are shot with the couple phone lights, all just 3 people holding their phone lights just as high as they can,
Yeah.
and it kind of turned out kind of halfway decent. I wouldn't say the greatest, but it was.
I mean, most of the cinematic stuff that we did on Kindling was very, very pretty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
although it was a
The
very
script took a hit, obviously, being
Yeah.
written on shooting day, but
you can see it here. Every page is just crossed out. Because I think originally I was trying to be all right, let me just adjust it. And then as I went through it, I was like, okay, we
Yeah.
can't shoot this. There's nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we keep most of this dialogue, but probably
Mhm.
mostly the dialogue. Everything else is different.
Yeah.
And we also had to make the new prop in that day because we had
Yeah.
to make a new mask.
Yeah, we had a mask originally that someone wanted to use, but we didn't think it fit really well. We thought it looked like it wasn't coherent with everything. So I think I had bought this cheap mask from a thrift store or something, and I was like, okay, let's paint it. So we painted it, and we used that for our thing, and we made our own kind of we made a character that I actually Dylan is the star of it. He's a serial killer, His name was
Totally not my name, but it's Derek Michael Harris.
yeah, Derek Michael Harris, and there's a reason he has 3 names. I wrote this specifically. It's because I don't trust people who have 3 first names.
Yes.
I just don't. I just can't.
It's phonetic.
So I thought, you know what? Let's name him that. And there wasn't a big story behind him. It was like he just escaped from, I think, a prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
escaped
he's
from a
just been
prison,
hiding in the
Escaped
woods.
convicts.
and
from
he was
the
killing
FBI.
people in the woods or wherever, and he was collecting things from people. So as like the film goes on, you see, oh, he has a new jacket that was like from someone else. Oh, he has a blank, 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 and that was just supposed to be like a little kind of like a
Yeah, I don't leave
Visual
behind
storytelling.
tokens. I just get whatever's valuable and try to like live off the land. By
Yeah.
killing people.
Do you know why it's called kindling? Do you guys remember?
Because of the fire.
They were going to a bonfire?
It's a play on 3 things, and I thought I was so clever for this, or whoever came up with the name. I don't remember if it was me, but kindling was they were rekindling their friendship.
Oh.
Kindling because the flip lighter was a major plot device, and they were going to a bonfire.
Yeah. I think I might have come up with it. Or
I think
someone else.
so, but it was funny and
That's a smart title.
kindling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't lie, I kind of like it, and I
Yeah.
remember editing was yeesh. Me and Dylan.
Yeah,
kinda
I was
split
up
it.
at like 6 and we didn't
Yeah.
finish it till like 11.
No, that's the thing is that 9 p.m. was like the cutoff day or cutoff time to turn it in, and we got it in 50 minutes before.
Really?
Yeah, we got in 50 minutes before. So what happened was, we edited the entire Sunday. You were up early because I had you organize the footage and like kind of like put it into each kind of scene,
Yeah.
and then I was editing to kind of like put all the stuff together. So we were doing that. We were working as a team to do it.
It was
And,
like running a mile.
Yeah, taking it back and forth. We had a really cool graphic like poster made that we're using as a prop, where it like looks like an escaped convict thing. I think it's like one of my favorite props that we ever made. But we have that, and it was a lot going on, I'll say, in a lot of short time. So it was interesting to like do, and I remember watching. Okay, the funny thing, they at the time, since it was 2020 and everyone was doing like virtual things, they were virtually showing the event, and teams got free tickets, of course,
Okay.
but everyone else had to pay. I purposely didn't watch it because I was so like nervous, because that was so stressful to me. Like everything that happened, I was just like, I can't watch, and then like no, like the Discord chat that was going on, I can't see that and then like watch it. I was just like, ah. But the only thing I remember, because I was looking at the Discord chat while ours was premiering, and I know it was ours because I saw the order and they tagged the people as they're showing it, and somebody did compliment one of our shots because of the golden hour, and they liked the location. I was like, okay, you know what, that's nice, even though it felt like stressful, but we did some good stuff.
Yeah, it was very draining.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just weren't ready at all.
I think we're ready now, though.
Yeah.
Because
After all that, yeah.
we've pulled off even films that aren't 72. We've pulled it off in 72 hours. And
I think if we stick to our own people, like stick
Yeah.
to those
Yeah.
we trust, like hold each other up, I think we can do
Yeah,
this.
I definitely think that like we call this a kind of our redemption year.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily that like our first year was terrible.
No.
It was just a lot.
Yeah.
And like we didn't know what we were doing, so like it was an accumulation of a completely new situation with new people with something we just had no experience with doing.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of stuff we did at the time was like things that we would take like weeks to do, like it would be advanced. Like you wrote the script, and then like weeks later you'd shoot it, and blah blah blah, you take an amount of time to like edit it. This is 72 hours.
Yeah.
We weren't used to that, and like we learned a lot, and
you finished it.
And we actually finished
that's
it.
impressive.
that's like the
Technically,
biggest
yes.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even technically, we finished it.
Yeah,
we
we
turned
did.
it in 50 minutes before, and I know this because I was like, oh my god, and I know that the second that we turned it in and they got confirmed, because I was staring at the screen. I was just like hunched over staring at it, just waiting for them to be like confirmed. And as soon as I saw that, I just remember just laying on the ground.
Yeah.
I was dead.
Oh my god, I can't imagine after everything. I would,
Yeah,
I would
I
be
was-
dead too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were still editing like a 15-minute short at a time, so like
What's
this-
short?
the one before it was.
Oh,
Ace
right.
Attorney.
Okay, that's right. Every team had to have a little kind of bumper. It like
Yeah.
they gave us a template that shows your team name and like it had their graphics on it, and then you were supposed to put in like a team video. And I won't lie,
We
ours
didn't finish
was
that.
no, we finished
We
it.
did?
Yeah, I don't think you saw it, but it was literally just because I was recording little bits in between when we were shooting.
Right.
So it was just us doing random stuff to like a song that I was messing around with like months ago. So I made by the way, I made the music in there. So yeah,
Nice.
that was
Right.
cool because you have to like have the music release and talent release and everything. So you have to have the paperwork turned in, you have to have your thing turned in, and your team video turned in, and we did it. But our credits were messed up.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
God.
And specifically my name too.
Oh no.
I think I forgot the H and it just douche. or
No,
something.
you didn't forget anything. Somehow it's spaced out.
Oh yeah, because we were doing
So
the
it
weird
said-
scroll. And...
Yeah, it was doing a scroll thing, an animation. So it said Joss and then H and then my last name. And I was like, well. And I think, one other graphic thing, or not graphic, but edit thing happened. There was a flash in between something.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a dissolve.
Something like broke, and we're like, but other than that, like we did get it in.
I think we had to upload it again because the first one was messed up.
We didn't get to upload it again to 72. I know that
Yeah.
because I was bummed. But we did re-export it for ourselves, which is nice.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe we'll actually release it. Would we release it?
I think it needs some touch-ups and
Needs some
editing,
touch-ups,
and then
yeah.
maybe a release.
But
Yeah,
then it's
maybe
not-
around 72 time.
Yeah, we are doing this year's.
I don't know. We kind of
Nah,
have to
let's-
keep it authentic.
Let's release it on Halloween.
We're gonna release it on
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
What if it's
nightmare-
not a
the
horror
nightmare
film,
short?
though?
It is.
It
It
is a
In
horror
theory,
film.
You know,
Oh,
it's
you
not.
mean- yeah,
it's about serial.
Yeah,
horror.
yeah. In
It's-
its core, it's supposed to be.
Okay, so
I wouldn't call it
Something.
scary, but
we
No.
played it off. I called it a cheesy 70s horror comedy. I think
Okay.
yeah,
to kind of like
a
play
grind.
off the fact
A
that like
That's good.
a lot of it
With none
didn't.
of the gore or
Mhm.
anything.
Oh yeah, we didn't show anything. We always just cut as soon as like the killer's close to somebody, and that was supposed to be like,
It's like
oh yeah, murder.
you're dead.
He's
You're
going
dead.
out.
I think that's pretty much our whole experience, right?
Yeah, Sarah, would you like to ask anything? Sarah, you're gonna be involved in this
I
too.
am. I
How?
know. And now that I know that, I'm like, I should probably think of questions for the next one. Now that I know I'm gonna be in it.
Yeah, like
What was
Ooh.
what was the most? I have to be careful with these questions too, but
Yeah.
like the most challenging thing about no, hang on.
Well, if
John.
what?
I think the most challenging thing was
I think
probably the
We
writing.
generally,
The writing.
The
The
writing.
writing was the most challenging.
That was
Yeah.
because like
you had to go through a lot of
Yeah.
iterations and
Yeah.
it's kind of
Lots of
funny to think
changes.
about because technically I think if you actually consider all of our concepts
Yeah.
and then the rewrites,
It
'cause
just
we,
wasn't meshing.
we had the first script and I think we rewrote the first script and then we had a rewrite of that script to what we had. There was like 3 or 4 scripts.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's
it's
a lot
like
of scripts,
yeah, and in 72 hours
right?
and to shoot it and to edit it, it's like so yeah, writing was probably like one of
Yeah.
the most challenging. But another one for me personally was like honestly like location. Cuz
Yeah.
like
right.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, we just went. It was so big, and we didn't have the equipment.
Yeah, scrambling a location is not always
Yeah, 'cause
easy.
especially whenever it is in the 72 hours because like you might get you might have prep for something else and then what you get like your theme completely different so you're like
Yeah.
oh okay and we hadn't prepped anything
Yeah.
so what ended up happening was like literally a scramble because our script that we wrote a script that had no location in mind
Yeah.
which was a
Yeah.
problem.
I think we also just had a really big crew. Like, we just had a lot of people, like,
There was a lot of like
general.
overlapping things, and I think that's something that I learned like from doing it was like, you can't please everyone
Yeah.
as much as you want to. You can't implement every idea. You can't like everyone isn't going to like the story. Everything isn't going to just work necessarily, and like I was trying hard to like have everyone be happy during the thing, everyone feel heard and stuff. And I feel like because of that, that kind of added to like why it was so hard to do,
Yeah.
why we had to rewrite it, why we had to do reshoots, why we had to change so much, because everyone had something they wanted to do, and like I understand, but you know we got to limit that and these kind of things.
It sounded like you learned a lot. That would have been my other question is like, what did you learn from this experience? Because honestly, it sounds like I mean, as stressful as it sounded like it was a growing
really fun.
experience.
I won't lie. It is incredibly like stressful, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's a filmmaking sleepover.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Filmmaking
Yeah.
sleepover, and you are feeling the tenseness of being on a production for 72 hours, a little bit over 72 hours straight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
think, yeah, it definitely gives you, like, it teaches you how to do things on the spot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, improv and shit like that. Just, this isn't working. We need to move to something different.
But the cool thing is, it's not going to be the same every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, who knows? We're probably going to run into new challenges this time.
That's
But I think
That's
we'll be
gonna
ready.
happen.
It's
Yeah.
gonna.
that's
yeah.
inevitable, but
Like,
we'll
we're
be able to like
Yeah.
take it. I think.
I think we got this time.
But
But yeah, I like the just the idea of it because it's I feel like a really useful tool for filmmakers to be able to like
oh yeah,
have that experience to just be like, okay, and go all of a sudden
Yeah.
and just do every part of the process in that short amount of time. I feel like it's a
'cause
really good
it's
tool.
a funny thing because filmmaking is something that usually is super long, and to
Right.
condense it so
Yeah.
small, it's like, wait a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of gives you a new perspective. I feel like.
Yeah.
So,
But we're gonna close this episode out, and we're gonna do another episode where we're talking about 72 2022, the redemption year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
get ready.
Don't call it a comeback.
We just took a break for a year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
it's all
good.
good. Yeah,
yeah,
it's fine.
but Jermaine, take us out.
Yeah, we fell off the bike and now we're getting back on. Well, if you like this episode of the podcast, please leave a like, subscribe, you know. These upload anywhere, everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. Comment down below. We would love to know your feedback and any ideas that you have that we should talk about. We would love to talk about it.